Assalamualaikum everyone again. We host this session every week on Sunday at 9 p.m. My name is Dr. Miral Khalil, and a brief introduction is that I started investing in the stock market 10 plus years ago. I'm a seasoned investor, but my main interest is to educate Muslim women how to invest in the stock market. If you guys can hear me and if you can see the slides, can you please put a yes in the chat box so that we can begin? Okay, perfect. Assalamualaikum Sana. So, the top 6 mistakes to avoid when you begin investing. Why am I so passionate about this topic? There are many reasons, and so let's quickly go over them. They're not just 6 mistakes that you make, there are many mistakes that you make, but these are the most common ones. And every investor, seasoned or beginner, is going to make these mistakes again and again unless you intentionally make an effort and you have a chart in front of you where you look at it every single day. I've been investing for the past decade. I still make these mistakes if I'm not intentional about it. Okay, let's begin. I always begin with the istiyada. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. And Hazrat Musa's dua. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. A decade ago, I read Surat Asr, and when I started investing, it struck close to home. Why is my intention tied to Surat Asr? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us that everybody is in ruin except for people who are giving valuable and important and wise advice, and people who are guiding other people to patience. I think both these lessons are timeless and they are absolutely mandatory to keep in mind when you are investing. So the rest of the world might not be familiar with these lessons, but I've been investing for such a long time that this surah is honestly the most comprehensive lesson in investing. And I can go on and on about it, but just keep it in mind. Investing techniques are very easy to master. What is very difficult to master and what differentiates us from Warren Buffett or people who are extremely wealthy and have been investing is honestly the lessons in this surah. And so we're going to begin. And so, as usual, there's a disclaimer. All subject is copyrighted and cannot be reproduced, and it's for educational purposes only. So, how did I end up here? What is my story? It's important for me to tell you what is my story so that you understand that I did not wake up in the morning one day and decide that today I'm going to start investing because I want to be rich. Although my family has an investing background, I am a physician by profession, which means I do not have any finance background. I do not want to get myself into this. I was very scared for a very long time. I resisted investing because I told myself these stories. I'm not good enough. I am not good at math. This is not my lane. I'd need to have a degree in finance. I need to hire a financial advisor. Oh, all of this terminology is too much. These lies that you keep telling yourself are costing you a lot of money. And so the reason why I'm telling you my story is that despite that I knew in my family, both sides, maternal and paternal, had tragedies and they ended up very differently because of investing, I still dismiss this. This is actually lesson number 7. So we're going to start from behind. This is lesson number 7. If you have somebody in your family that invested, they will be much better off than people who do not invest. I'm going to give you 2 stories and I'm going to give you my story and then we're going to continue. Both my maternal and paternal grandmothers were widows at a very young age. They lost their husband in their late 30s. One of them had some investments. My maternal grandmother had some investments, some gold, and some savings. And my paternal grandmother had no savings, no education. Both families had a very different path where my maternal grandmother was able to quickly collect herself and she was able to pick the pieces quite quickly because of the few investments that she had. My paternal grandmother had to struggle for a very long time because she had no investments. The reason behind her having no investments is number one, she was sure that having so many sons and having a well-established job with her relation to her husband is going to save her. But this is the biggest mistake we make. We think that everything is certain, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us as Muslims, and even if you are not a believer, as a human being, you need to understand that circumstances can change. And when was my wake up call? So I invested in index funds for the past decade. A couple of years ago, when I was pregnant with my third child, my husband ended up in the ICU. He was absolutely healthy. He had no issues. This is something I do not talk about, but people should talk about this. I ended up delivering that child alone. I took a taxi from his hospital bed, thinking to myself that I will end up as a widow and I will have to take care of all of these children. I was not a practicing physician. I took off time thinking that my children need my time. So I researched at Hopkins. Now, imagine I'm crying. I'm going in this taxi by myself. My husband is in the ICU. He had sepsis. All the things were going wrong. My father in law was with him. My mother in law was taking care of two other kids. And I thought to myself, despite both my grandmothers having suffered this widowhood, I never took up that lesson. And I thought, investing is not for me. I'm not going to invest. It's for somebody else. Remember the stories I told you? It wasn't until at that time it struck me that I really need to. I prayed to Allah. I was like, Ya Allah, bring me out of this. And even if He didn't, I knew my next step was to take interest in my finances. And so, Alhamdulillah, my husband survived. He had a not so quick recovery. I'm just telling you, we are literally 1 second away from a catastrophe. Nobody knows about it. And so I'm really passionate about Muslim women getting into this because we have all kinds of information. We have all kinds of people doing all kinds of things, but nobody's focusing on this particular group of people who are so lacking behind in financial education and who are not taking part in the economy. So please don't let a wake up call to investment. You have to invest because the future is not certain and you have to have a backup plan. The Prophet ﷺ said you have to tie your camel and then you have to believe in Allah. You cannot leave your camel and think that the camel is going to come back to you. Okay. So let's go to lesson one. Lesson one, when people start investing, they start investing without any purpose. They don't have an end goal in mind. They don't know what is their investing personality type. Are you a spender by nature? Are you a savings person by nature? Are your finances in order? What is your end goal? What is your short term goal? Are you individually investing or are you investing for an entire family? You need to have a clear perspective of when you start investing. All of these questions need to be answered. The issue with this is that if you don't define your goals, you are never going to reach them. It could be finance or it could be anything else. It applies to anything else. And I promise you, majority people, including myself, for a very long time, did everything haphazardly. I did not have a goal. I just started investing haphazardly here and there 10 years ago. The only thing I did, which went into my favor, was I invested in index funds regularly. The index funds that I invested in regularly have taken our net worth in millions because of the time, not because of how much money we put in, but because of the time. But the difference is that the investment in the stock market that we did regularly has a bigger return than the haphazard investment I did in farmland and real estate without any goals, without any plan. I just threw money in without any end result. That is one of the biggest mistakes people make. Don't make this mistake. When I give you guys the free PDF guide, it will have all these questions. I really recommend that you spend a few minutes thinking about this before you jump into anything. Okay? What is the next lesson? Lesson number 2. Please don't be like me. Don't be scared of investing. Don't be scared of other people's opinions. Those people are not going to be around you. The people who tell you that you're going to lose all your money investing are not going to be there. I promise you, when hard time strikes, these people are the first people who are going to run away. These people are going to be the ones who are going to tell you they don't have any money and they're really sorry for your loss, but they cannot help you. So please don't be scared of terminology. The Prophet ﷺ said, the word of wisdom is the lost property of the believer. Wherever he finds it, he is most deserving of it. Please pick yourself up, s- develop self respect, develop the respect that Allah has given you intrinsically as being a human being. You can learn anything. For years, I taught myself out of this thing, telling myself stories. If I start trading, what are people going to think about me? If I start doing this, what are people going to think about me? Oh, this is not my lane. I'm an academic. I'm a physician. I should be concentrating on this. I have no business in finance. Everybody should have financial literacy. The second thing is, this is not taught in schools. If you are not going to learn it by yourself, I promise you there is nobody who is going to teach you. I have apparently a doctorate, and I had to learn this the hard way, going through the mess that I went through, despite having a family history of knowing the importance of it. I did not take it seriously until I got myself into a position where I was literally on the verge of losing my husband, who was the sole bread earner. Don't be in that position. You have to educate yourself. The best thing I'm going to tell you about this is, please don't follow free random advice. You can start learning this way, but please be systematic about this. What's going to happen is that you're going to get so much free advice. It's going to overwhelm you and you're not going to know where to start. But having said that, it's not equal to not starting at all. So please don't be scared. Learn about it. You're in one of the biggest economies of the world. Don't be like one of those people who spent years, like me, scared out of the stock market, out of investing, and now I lost millions of dollars that I could have just started with a little bit and it would have grown over time. People wait for New Year's Eve for change. I'm telling you right now, this is the best time. Today is the best day to invest. The history is that in the United States, when the midterm elections, this is another bonus point for you, when the midterm elections are done, the stocks usually rise, the finances and all sectors start to grow. This is the history of how the political cycles in the United States run. After every midterm, finance, stocks, real estate, everything picks up. This is your sign to start investing today. Don't wait for New Year's Eve. Lesson number 3. Okay, I have had so many conversations about this. A lot of people tell me I have a lot of debt, I cannot invest. My question to them is, are you able to resolve all of your debt within a day, within 2 days, within 6 months? If you're not, are you going to wait 30 years until your house is paid off to invest? I mean, it doesn't make sense. I don't know who and why this concept is prevalent in the Muslim community, that they have to pay off all of their debts before they make any investments. That some of your investments can help you pay that debt off. If you make the intention of investing in a short term investment like farmland, like gold, like anything, your money can do the heavy lifting for you and it can help you resolve a debt quickly. In real estate, I keep telling everyone, and I keep repeating myself that in real estate, location is king. But in investing, time is king. You are not going to make money overnight until you win the lottery, and the chances of that are very low. So, what can you do? You can invest slowly, you can invest with your spare change, and it will grow. Now, if you want to be a millionaire and you're investing haphazardly, you're not being consistent, you're not investing a big chunk of your money in the stock market or real estate or whatever you choose to invest in, the return is not going to be big. But it's still better than your money depreciating. Your money in the bank every year goes down because of inflation. So please do not wait for all of your debts to resolve. They are never going to resolve. I have yet to resolve all of my debts. There hasn't been a time in my life when I have been 100% debt free. That is how the United States economy works. Please invest right now. This investment can help you lower your debt. Don't get into this storyline. I have professionally consulted people, and there are people who have wasted decades of their life because life is gonna pass by you. You're not gonna get these years back. Do not get yourself into this trap that I have to pay off all this debt. It's gonna cost you a lot of money. Lesson number 4. jumping on a trend, water cooler talk. I'm going to give you a real time story that happened to me. There was somebody who was talking about a particular stock, and I'm not going to name a stock because this is what happened. They told me that they were talking to somebody else. I came in this conversation and I heard that a stock was doing really well. What did I do next? I did not bother to ask them. I thought of myself as so clever. I just went in and I put some money in that stock and lost that stock. Why do you think I did that? Because I think I was really smart. And why did I lose money? Because I did not do my homework. Jumping on a trend when there's a Reddit report or CNBC report, so this stock is doing this, is rising and this stock is falling. Please understand, a seasoned investor has approximately at least followed that stock for the past 3 months. When they're talking about a stock making money, that stock has probably gone from this to this in 3 months. It did not make money in one single day. It did not shoot up in one single day. And when you are getting on this water cooler talk, you are late. That stock has probably peaked. They have probably taken out a profit and now they're celebrating it. The stock market works like this, it goes up and it goes down. Now, when you're investing at a really high price, without doing any of your homework, without asking any questions, without charting the stock market, the stock is going to tumble and you're going to end up losing all your money. And then you are going to be one of those people who are misinforming people that don't invest your money in the stock market. The stock market, you're going to lose all your money in the stock market. Whereas those people don't even realize that they are making a mistake by investing in that stock without doing their homework. And then they are preventing other people who can educate themselves go about it in a proper way. They're discouraging them by spreading this fake news that I lost all that money, without telling them that I lost all that money because I was greedy like me and I jumped on somebody else's conversation and I eavesdropped and I did not know do my homework and I just put a bunch of money in. Nobody talks about this, but let me tell you, people who are telling you that investing is a big mistake, it's a way to lose money, it's a money pit, they have absolutely no education. They have absolutely not invested the required time, the required training, and obviously the required homework to invest. So please search for somebody who has been investing for a longer time and who just put their money haphazardly. Okay. Be very careful which person are you taking advice from. Because at the end of the day, a lot of people are dissuaded, they're discouraged from the stock market because of this misinformation circulating around. Think about Warren Buffett. That man has a strategy. How did he end up making $100 billion in the stock market? And how did he not topple? There has to be a strategy. There's many others like that. And that strategy comes with time, patience, and practice. Lesson number 5, putting all your eggs in one basket. So this lesson is simple. If you do not diversify your portfolio, and if you're not building multiple nests of eggs, and if you're betting yourself on one stock, honestly, it's a self fulfilling prophecy of failure. So, if you invest in multiple assets like farmlands and precious metals, real estates, the stock market, index funds, you are very less likely to lose money. In fact, I can honestly guarantee you that after 10 years, there is absolutely no loss, especially in the index funds. My husband and I have two very completely different profiles. My husband is not an active trader. He's a passive investor. I am more of an active trader because sometimes I need money to travel or I need money to do something else. And then there's a pocket of time in a year where I will start actively trading so that I can make a couple $1,000 and I can go on a vacation or I can, I don't know, take my kids to ski. My husband has his own separate business and he doesn't have the time and he doesn't want to learn, so he ended up putting his money in long-term investments. Please understand that both of us started with a very similar portfolio, but we have very different personality types, so we ended up after 10 years in a very different place. So he has long-term investments, but they are also diversified, so he didn't put all his money in one fund. I have a diversified portfolio, but I am a short term trader as well. So, going back to lesson 1, what is your investment personality type? And if your goals, investing can help you achieve them short term and long term. If you have if you have the guidance of somebody who is seasoned, who has gone before you, and who can show you the results, it's honestly mind blowing what your money will do after a couple of years. And so, before we go on to lesson six, I want to remind you time is going to pass you by with or without investing. If you start investing, even with spare change, and why do I keep saying spare change? My son has a minor Roth IRA. Honestly, he has $270 in his account, which he earned this year teaching chess. Now, to some people, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely not. He is going to honestly, most certainly retire a millionaire, even with very small pockets of money in his account, just because he is 8 and he has, God knows, hopefully, inshallah, 50 plus years till his retirement at age 60. If he keeps investing these small bits of changes here and there, the money is going to grow on its own. This is how the stock market works. Time is the biggest hero. If he wants to learn how to day trade, he can also spend on his vacation, buy himself something expensive. I don't know, may people have a lot of things. I had a client who remodeled her whole kitchen using her investment money. Instead of taking money from her pocket and just giving it to the person who remodels, she grew it in the stock market and she remodeled it, which is a much, I think, smarter way to do it, because the money that you pay other people, you never see it back. The money that you spend in the market, I don't know, buying things, shopping online, you never see it. But what if you took that money, invested it in the stock market, took out the profit and spent that? At least now that's passive income. At least that was not earned income, and your money is still there making more money for you. Okay. So please understand this. We're at the end of the year. It's very important that you begin investing today. Lesson number six, and this is the last one: investing without a strategy and a plan. That is what I did. Remember, we started with this inconsistent, haphazard investing, not consistently investing will not take you very far. Okay. I invested in a farmland a couple of years ago and then I completely forgot about it. There were so many opportunities for me to do low cost investments, but I did not take interest in it. I had no plan. And because I had no plan, I failed. Simply saying that. My husband, on the other hand, is a long term investor. He kept investing little pockets of money in real estate, little pockets of money in farm investing, because he's playing the long game. He has a much better portfolio than I could have had. My portfolio is now more short term trading, but I'm just trying to tell you that if you are consistently investing, it's going to give you a bigger return. Nobody teaches you this. People teach you just start investing in the stock market. They don't tell you that you need a plan. They don't tell you that you need a strategy and end goal. They don't tell you that you need to keep an eye out for new types of investments. For example, startups. I just recently began investing in startups seriously. You have to have a circle of people around you who are doing this. Birds of a feather flock together. So, another part of lesson number six is please surround yourself with people who are giving you good advice. Remember, I told you investing is absolutely related to Surah Asr. All the good companies that I found that are startups that I found to invest in, I found them through trusted, verified, actual real people that I know in real life have made a lot of money investing. I don't want to do all the homework myself, so you need like a community of people doing this around you. And so I'm going to end the slideshow right now. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. You guys are going to get a free PDF guide, which is going to be fillable with all these mistakes and all the questions that I gave you. And please take your time, see where you fit. And I really encourage Muslim women, especially, to take control of their finances, because nobody's going to do this for you. And if you have kids, I promise you they don't teach this in school. Otherwise, a lot of us would be a lot more wealthier. There's just a lack, dearth, or I don't know. They don't think it is important, but I mean, you can see how it is. And remember, understand, please, money equals opportunity. If you don't have money, the opportunities to you and your kids are really less. So, money is a vehicle to create opportunity. I'm not asking people to do something that is greedy, that is illegal. I'm asking you to take part in one of the biggest economies. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has placed us in the United States of America to take part in this economy, to be a resource, and then we are obligated to take all this education. So if you guys have any questions, we have a few minutes. If not, I'm going to end the presentation and I will send you guys a replay and the PDF guide.